What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and I cannot believe it, but somebody by the name of SoulGood actually commented on a video of mine that is over 6 months old, and the video is about an unsolved barcode cipher over on Voyage of Despair that my buddy and I, Sunzen, actually found on the map itself. And my buddy Sunzen and I were lucky enough to actually solve 2 other ciphers on Voyage of Despair that nobody else had found or even had noticed or glanced at while in game. And this is why, if you're starting a YouTube channel and need some tips, you should always read your comments no matter what. Some people in those comments will have 200 IQ, and lately a lot of people in my comment section have been helping me find a lot of side Easter eggs and uncover a lot of things in both Blackout and Black Ops 4 Zombies. So massive shout out to everyone out there who's been in my comment section. But once again, shout out to SoulGood, I believe I said his name correctly. He commented on my video and said that he cracked the barcode. I wanted to give me the answer before giving it to anybody else here on YouTube, and he then responded by saying that he solved the Voyage barcode and it's actually Titanic related. Apparently somebody by the name of Crazy Junk 8000, I'm assuming that's somebody he knows, translated the barcode to the numbers 241-26373, and that's somehow what he got when he scanned them. He did not provide details on exactly how he scanned them, but I will talk more about that in a second. So he actually researched and found that on April 22nd, 1912, or 2412, the first 4 digits in the barcode, this was the day the Titanic began sea trials. 63 and 73, there was a documentary where 63 survivors tell their story, and there was 712 survivors total, or 7 plus 3, or 73. The wreckage of the Titanic, which sank in 1912, was discovered near the bottom of the ocean in 1985. So 73 years later, the first cipher with the doll talked about the 20 lifeboats and the 65 passengers per boat. I believe this one is delving into the survivors info. They both come down to 5 numbers, so I'm curious if we need to search the 5th lifeboat on the level, or if that is the same boat that the characters look at the end of the main Easter egg. So if I remember correctly, maybe a couple of months ago I also saw somebody, I can't remember who it was, solved an Easter egg on Voyage that had to do with a creepy doll that apparently belonged to a girl that was on board the Titanic. But if I find more info about that, I'll put footage of that Easter egg that was found here on screen, and I'll credit all those people who found it down below in the description. But it's pretty crazy how somehow they scanned this barcode that was in the map, got those numbers, then were able to correlate it to actual events that took place on the Titanic. So kind of going along with the fact that some other ciphers here on the map do talk about real life events that happen when it comes to the Titanic. Let it be the day that it sunk, the survivors, some victims, a little girl's doll, really cool things that were added onto this map, which really add to the lore and as to what this map means. But this individual named SoulGood was able to then clarify that some guy or girl, Crazy Junk 8000, used his scanner, I don't know what kind, and found the numbers. Then I researched and found the significance. I believe he used a phone app. And the thing about this is that he's kind of questioning whether or not Crazy Junk 8000 is a guy or a girl, but then he then says the word he when talking about using his scanner. So I'm assuming Crazy Junk 8000 is a male and somehow used a phone app, not sure which one, to scan this barcode. I know for a fact I've used plenty of different phone apps, and just about all of them that are available in the US on my phone to try to scan this code, and I just couldn't get anything to scan. So you guys let me know down below in the comments if you've had any luck with scanning this barcode. I would love to see how somebody can actually do this, but this honestly makes a lot of sense that it honestly correlates to an actual event that has to do with the Titanic. It is absolutely insane. Once again, big shout out to SoulGood for commenting on a 6-month-old video. I honestly thought that nobody was ever going to scan this barcode here on Voyage, and it's kind of funny because I was just talking about this barcode a couple of days ago with a few friends of mine and how it must be bugged out to the point where maybe a version of this barcode with a higher resolution would have to be viewed in order for you to scan it. I was thinking that maybe the version of this barcode that's actually in the game is just unreadable and can't be solved, but I guess it actually is readable and somebody was able to crack this. So big shout out to the zombies community for seeing smaller YouTubers like mine's videos about various Easter eggs and ciphers here in Black Ops 4 Zombies. And if I ever find out how SoulGood's friend actually solved this barcode, then I'll put a updated comment comment down below and I'll pin it just so you guys are aware as to how this can be solved and what app you can actually use. But as a bit of a recap, my buddy Sunzen and I, quite a while ago, hopped onto a game of Voyage of Despair, and I was looking around at this pretty dark area near the mid deck, and I was very curious as to why a little bit of this room was detailed, and now you can only see a majority of this room when you throw a Wraithfire in it to actually illuminate the room, or you can go into theater mode, free roam, and place some lights in here to see how beautiful this room actually is. And I was wondering why it was kept so dark in the first place, and the reason why is because there's actually a QR code that's on the fireplace that I was lucky enough to see with my Wraithfire, and when I actually got a high resolution photo of it, I was able to scan it and get the following message. There is a rage within you the others do not know. It may be your undoing. So obviously a reference to the fact that Bruno was possessed by the dark forces of the Order, which doesn't get fleshed out too much until the ending cutscene of Voyage's main Easter egg, and then fleshed out a lot more within Ancient Evil. So some really cool foreshadowing that was put in the form of a cipher here on Voyage of Despair, and probably would have been a lot cooler to solve before the main Easter egg was actually beat, but still happy we found it nonetheless. Definitely a cool Easter egg. I really love to see little things like that put in some very obscure places around the map, but you can only see this with the Wraithfire unless you go into theater mode once again and illuminate that room with the lighting effect. You have to take a high quality screenshot in order to then scan it with any QR scanner app on your phone. But the next cipher my buddy Sunzen and I also solved, just as a bit of a recap, is something that's so hidden to the point where I don't think anybody would have found this without some type of leak. So the second cipher we got here actually came in the form of a leak from a fired QA tester. So pretty funny how this one was actually solved, but you can only see it while you're in theater mode. So it's probably only visible for like a millisecond when you're actually in game, which is why it's almost impossible to see. So as you're fast traveling from spawn over to the poop deck, there's actually bloody text written on the ground near the mid deck, and you can only see it for a split second while you're fast traveling. So the best thing to do is to go in theater mode, pause the game as you're sort of fast traveling right above the mid deck, free roam, and look down to see the following message. The dead are the first test. So obviously a reference to the fact that prima materia could cause the undead to rise and are the first test in terms of using prima materia on humans. So it could be an honest reference to the Easter eggs on 9 and Ancient Evil, as we later come to see. Really cool little piece of bloody text that was added to something so hidden here on Voyage that I'm pretty positive would have never been found if not for leaks. So really happy we found this one as well. But again, the first cipher we found with the QR code was found by mistake. Definitely a mistake on my end when I was just looking in that room to see why it was so detailed, even though it was such a hidden area of the map. But the second code here with the bloody text was definitely given to us by a fired QA tester. But once again, big shout out to everyone in the community who's been commenting on my videos, showing me all this love and support, and definitely showing that 200 IQ in my comment section, providing me with a lot more depth and explanation to a lot of these various side quests and unsolved Easter eggs here within Black Ops 4. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Check out links down below in the description. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everyone.
Another question from Twitter from RichKillerTSM. It says, "Hi there. On one hand, I want to ask a question about ciphers. On the other hand, I don't want nor expect any hints." Good. I like to fulfill your expectations. So my question is, what is your favorite unsolved zombie cipher? Which game map is it from? Thanks in advance. Okay, so I would say a couple of my favorites are actually in Voyage of Despair.